Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, a time zone friendly welcome back to the PGL Major in Krakow. We're in day number 3, which means round 3 action from the Swiss group systems. Earlier today we've seen 2 teams leave the competition, Vega Squadron and FaZe making an early exit. Later on today we'll see the first 2 promoted to the quarterfinals. Until then though, we've still got our 1-1 games to go through, and next up is a tantalising match between NaVi and Immortals. Every time they've played it's become very close indeed. In fact, their record against each other is 2 wins each and 2 overtime. So hopefully we get some more of that as we head into this matchup. We've also got Natu and Fiflaren back at the desk once more to dissect all of the action, tell us what we can look forward to in this matchup. And gents, we'll start with NaVi. Kind of okay, I guess, so far.
No, I actually think they've been playing pretty well.
Yeah, it's hard because they've got some standout stuff, haven't they? But they've also not been the NaVi of old.
So that's the thing. So like versus G2, for example, I feel like their seed side was great. On their T side, however, that's when they start falling apart a little bit. They still made it 14-16 rather, right? That's hence the 1 loss.
Yeah.
Then yesterday, I also think that they played some good Counter-Strike. So compared this NaVi to the NaVi even 2 weeks ago, I definitely feel that we've seen an improvement. I feel like Simple is playing incredible. Guardian, during the interview segment that we had with him yesterday, he feels like after the marriage and stuff now, after the wedding, you know, there's a lot of stuff to be done. They can just strictly focus on Counter-Strike, right? He was even stating that...
It seems like he's got a new lease of life in it as well.
I mean,
he's actually enjoying play. Came in early yesterday to
exactly,
practice.
And that's what I was referring to as well. He's like, yeah, I just want to play, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is the Guardian that we have come to love and just enjoy watching, right? Because he is one of the best operators that we've ever had in this scene.
Across multiple games as well, it has to be said.
And then when you have someone like Edward on your team who seems to be always performing in the majors, he's the pistol king, especially 1.6. He used to be just nuts with the USP. That's makings of great things, obviously. And then obviously Simple coming into the picture too. But I think, you know, that game on Overpass in G2 was like a miniature kind of NaVi in a nutshell. You know, CT side, they have the great individual skills, especially on a map like Overpass. You know, Simple, so good at playing those toilets. You know, being aggressive, pushing everywhere, and finding the gaps and making your opponent's life super hard. But their decision making on the T side, mid-round calls, that kind of a stuff is just the amount of hesitance you see from the way they approach a lot of the situations. It's just mind-boggling sometimes. You know, and that's when Guardian is saying in an interview, you know, we don't always trust our in-game leader. What kind of a statement is that mid of a tournament at a major?
I mean, it's a very honest statement, if
you
nothing
don't
else.
Say that out loud. Even if you think it, you don't necessarily say that out on public.
I mean, it makes total sense, right? Because you don't even have an in-game leader on this team anymore. You don't even have a coach.
Like an actual, that's true.
Yeah, like an actual one. It's just like, oh, well, we kicked the other 2. Who wants to do it? It's like,
who gets the shorter stick?
Let's go. Who gets to get kicked next?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like that, then you're out of a situation. It's like, yeah, maybe the loose calling works somewhat, but you're always going to have something to. You always need something to fall back to, and this is something that NaVi doesn't have.
Well, they said they were also talking as well, and they were also communicating better as well. They're a better group of people, so presumably these are not insurmountable problems they can get over.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of work, but it's been a long time now, hasn't it, with this lineup? You know, they started out great last year in New York, winning that, you know, and then afterwards it's just been like a downward spiral, hasn't it? And you can just tell from their body language, the way they kind of comment on a lot of stuff, and the way they are, they're just not happy with the way that things are working out for obvious reasons, you know, if you look at the scoreboards. But also when you look and dissect the way they play in a lot of the situations, they're always at half a second late to react into situations. If they go down in a 3-on-5, you know, unless someone goes ham individually, that's the only time you see them winning those, you know, situations where they are in a disadvantage.
All right, let's move on to their opponents. It is Immortals. As we said at the top of the show, they've played each other 4 times, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 overtimes as well.
They played each other.
It was,
it's been a long time.
It was Oakland last year that they played. Yeah,
so I'm not sure how relevant it is.
And that was Immortals winning that one, by the way. But they're always close. It's 16-13, it's 19-15, it's 15-19. It's always close between these two, no matter what small changes they make to their lineup.
Yeah, I can definitely see why. I mean, I feel like the playstyle fit each other pretty well in terms of, I mean, even back then, where it's like we saw Immortals yesterday versus Vega Squadron, for example, that the ability to be able to switch it up a little bit, right? But they do like that fast pace quite a bit, their aggressive play, and I feel like that really suits the way that NaVi likes to play it currently as well.
Yeah. I've just checked as well. The least amount of rounds have ever been played between these two sides is 26.
We're very close to Katowice as well, so Henny might be going off anytime soon, right? So.
Well, it's Poland. It's just Poland for him. It just goes off whenever he's here.
Still, I mean, Immortals is definitely one of the most exciting teams to for me to watch in a sense
Same.
because it is, we used to have this term for the Brazilian Counter-Strike called the Samba CS, and they kind of resemble me of that in the sense that it doesn't always make a lot of sense, which is kind of funny when you think of it, that SK, who have really, made a lot of factors in the game into a form of art, but when it's Immortals, on a map like Ash, for example, when they go to retake middle, it seems like it's all just in the field. It's nothing that's calculated, they've thought of every single flash they do, and it can get scrappy, For me, that's the kind of the downfall they have, is that if they have the momentum, if they feel the game, they can make that kind of stuff work, but kind of the issue is, if you don't, then you need to have the precise protocol, like precise flashes and timings on everything, just to have more consistency in those kind of situations. So I kind of feel like that's in the detail is the big issue for this team.
As a coach, they'd frustrate the crap out of you, wouldn't they?
Yeah, probably.
But as a viewer, you just got to love it. Unless you're Chad, who hates watching erratic, crazy Samba style.
Which is kind of weird, right?
Because he played like that.
Yeah, exactly. You see how it
We're
worked out for
burning him,
them.
he's not
Maybe
here.
that's why. Maybe that's why he just has PTSD about it, right? It's like, oh my god, this is bringing back memories.
It's bad memories.
Oh god, that's not making it.
He's not here to defend himself.
That is
right
very
now,
true.
but we'll give him a chance later on.
I do want to, exactly.
Yeah.
And shout out to Shad as well, because we come from the same background.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's only beaten me once. It was back in 07. I've beaten Henry there around the same year as well. It's always a fun discussion point.
Yeah, I don't think we've done too much discussion on the whole comparison of players on the panel. Natsu's obviously a former major player as well.
And we have a major champion here.
We do have a major champion, yeah. He kind of wins,
and
that's why we haven't really talked about it too much, because he does win a lot of those kind of battles on the desk.
Yeah,
the
I mean, he got carried, so
exactly. The way that I see it is that, carried or not, it's still going to be there. When I go in game, I see that nice little logo there, champion and whatever, and it's like, great.
I was going to ask you about that, because
I don't use it.
You don't?
No.
Do you not? Why?
I don't know.
I suppose when you're playing at LEM now and you go in and you've got that next to you, people are like, where did you buy the account?
I was about to curse there, actually, because I was going to say the S word, which I can't. It's like, you're bad. I said, that's fair. I am. I'm horrible.
Gold over 4.
I am sorry. No, it's just like Chad has been in the scene for a while.
He has.
He's a very smart player, and keep in mind as well,
I think we're lucky to have him, because he should have been a coach, really, frankly, as far as I'm concerned.
Definitely. He's a very smart player, and it comes down to this, like, the players that you have as the teammates, right? It's what you have to work with.
Yeah.
Like, there's only so much you can do. I'm not saying that all Renegades are garbage.
Do we know who gets to start the veto now?
We do. It's Immortals that are going to ban the first two, and they're going to ban Nuke and Mirage.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That they've done that before. It's all the tournament. We're going to see
NaVi
Cash going out, as it always does. I think it's going to come down to maps like Overpass and Train, to be honest with you.
That's the two maps that they played as well.
Yeah.
NaVi has played Overpass, Train this event,
okay,
and so has
Overpass,
Immortals.
Nuke is the last two.
Yeah.
That's what's left.
That's exciting.
And they both won their games on Train.
Yep.
They both lost on Overpass. So we'll see.
The suspense is building, isn't it?
Please be Nuke.
You said Nuke is banned.
Oh crap! It is banned.
It's Train Overpass.
It's Train Overpass. Okay, it's going to be Overpass.
It's going to be Overpass. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, this
is the virtual coin flipping.
Yeah, they're trolling us now, aren't they?
They are flipping us out.
Like I said, NaVi really had a great look on the CT side. They must have been kicking themselves, throwing that advantage. 12-3 in the CT half, just dominating G2, making almost G2 look ridiculous with the whole coin flip thing going into that match, right? And then throwing away the advantage on the T side. That's going to be a challenge for Immortals for sure. In the
especially
sense
because I think their T side was struggling as well versus Flawless, right? There was their CT side that came back and made it into overtime.
Yeah.
And it does make sense. I mean, as well, if you look at Immortals and the kind of tools they have in that team, you have Henny, you have KNG, you have the dual ops possibility on this kind of a map.
And they do love that, don't they?
They definitely do. And they also translate to the T side sometimes as well. I'm not a great fan of it necessarily, but you always have that in the reserve.
Yeah, they're definitely looking for that in this particular game. They do start as the underdogs, as you can see on screen right now. Is that about right, in your opinion? Do you feel like NaVi are the favourites here?
I mean, if you just look at the players, right, yes, they should be favourites. But I feel like as of NaVi's been playing as of late, not only counting this tournament, I'm not actually quite sure. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Just basing off of their seat side, yeah, okay, they're favorites. I think Immortals will be starting on their T side because they ended up picking the map, right? So I think that is super important for Immortals just to come up with a great start. And I feel like if you look at it, if they want to play double op setups, Train would have essentially been better.
Yeah.
But going into Overpass here, I think they really need to find a solution here to stop Navi CT side, because if we end up going in the other secondary scoreline as well, 12-3 or even 11-4, I think Immortals they're just gonna end up losing this game.
We've talked, Natu, about lack of strategy sometimes for Navi, and they do look a little bit loose here and there without strong calls. Actually, in this game, they're actually potentially the more tactical team.
Well, I mean, it comes down for both teams. How can they, when it comes to the getting map control, they have to kind of put it into small pieces and fragments. Go through getting connector and then getting towards balloons, and then gradually getting towards those A bomb site, especially to then enable you to actually hit the bomb site, and that's a big issue, right? Because you have a side of NaVi, for example, for Immortals on the T side, where Simple is going to be there, being very aggressive. You have Guardian all over the place. So that's kind of the big issue that you have to solve before you even get to think about hitting a bomb site. Unless you're going for B every round, though. That's the alternative, obviously.
That's a backup plan.
And then you can also, obviously, you can start controlling sewers to begin with. That's an option too, and try to penalize that part of the map, and then you gradually make your way through connector towards an A.
I don't think we're definitely not going to see a lot of fast pace coming from Immortals if you can use the double up setup, right? So we're in for quite a long game.
We're not going to see any awkward huddles at the desk either. It's only the professionals that are allowed to do good huddles.
We're not trying that again,
Paul. No, we're definitely not going there. I'll tell you what we are going to do, though, is we are going to say good afternoon to Anders and Semina, who are in the commentary box for the next 2 matches. Afternoon, gents. You looking forward to this?
Very much, yes. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think you guys outlined it pretty well.
Two crazy teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Immortals, they were so happy just getting here. I think if they can make it into the playoffs as well, I mean, not based on this match, but in general, I think it's going to be a dream come true for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, you heard Lucas yesterday, Semler. He was quite confident, wasn't he? He was like, yeah, we're trying to get to the playoffs, and then maybe we get to the semis, and then maybe we get a bit of luck and we go to the grand final. He's like, wow, okay, all right, let's get carried away, but one step at a time.
You don't go into a tournament thinking, oh, man, well, shucks, just... Well,
you're happy to be
our
here.
Best guys, you know what? No, you go into a tournament and you think that you're the best guys there in the server, and that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You're here to do work.
Absolutely.
You're here to take home that trophy. And so I like that mentality. That's how you have to think if you're going to come in here and do damage, because you have to wonder, right? We've already seen a crazy result already.
Yeah, got to be careful, got to be careful.
Yeah, you can't let your guard down for a second versus any of the teams here at this event.
All right, boys, enjoy this one. Take us into the game.
Yes, thank you very much, Paul. And indeed, we are going to be heading into it on Overpass as well. Who would have thought? I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, we talked about Immortals a little bit, but NaVi is such a fun team to watch now. Again, I think they're starting to sort of make it interesting.
Why?
I quite like that. Well, for one thing, Guardian obviously playing extremely well. Him being back, I think he plays some of the most entertaining Counter-Strike, but they don't only have him, they have Simple as well. So if they lack entertainment at any point, Simple can step it up.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where you kind of really expect this player who's had such tremendous impact at the majors. I mean, obviously, when he played for Liquid, we all saw that. He's just capable of coming alive at any point and pulling off incredibly explosive plays to get his team fired up and back into a game. Now, whether he's going to be able to deliver that here versus Immortals, that's the question. Overpass, neither of these teams have had any joy on it, at least over the past couple of days. So when coming into this, thinking about it, I was like, I don't know who will win. I feel like this is kind of a 50-50, to be fair.
So you can't do it 50-50.
I know, though, but it's like, okay.
You've got to put your money up.
Exactly. And so when you get further into that, right, it's just like, okay, on paper, with the talent, the experience, the skill on NaVi, the fact that they can be just a bit more consistent than Immortals. Immortals have suffered from that in the past. If Henny, for example, isn't having an explosive game, they might struggle a bit. And so, long and short of it, you really do have to go for NaVi on this one. But again, right, it's Immortals. They can have that Henny who just shows up and mauls everybody.
Yeah, my gut says NaVi as well. I can't exactly explain why, because I do think it's going to be an incredibly close game. There's just something about NaVi lately. Also, the fact that it's Overpass. I think they've got some really interesting players here. My only sort of upsetting, or my only point about NaVi really on this map is the fact that I think sometimes Guardian plays a bit too predictably over at long when he plays there. So hopefully that won't be a feature of this game. Maybe you could try and switch it up just a little bit. We'll see how it all unfolds here. It is NaVi versus Immortal, best of one game. Both the teams are 1-1 in scoreline, so no one is going home or moving on based on this game. But for either one of these teams, if you beat the other, you feel like you've taken down a pretty strong competitor in the game overall, and that's obviously going to feel great, and you get just a step closer to make it into the arena. Probably will have, I think, a bit of a reset.
It's a reset, yeah. We need to reboot it real quick.
We will do that, and then we'll get on the way. Yeah, so anything can happen on this map. I think even if you buy, we didn't really see any smokes here, so I don't know if Immortals just, I don't think they bought them yet if they wanted to. But it doesn't give a lot away. Like if they buy 2 smokes or 1 smoke, doesn't really mean that much. I will say, sort of broadly speaking, if it's only 1 smoke, we tend to see that go towards the bank on the A-bomb side. 2 smokes suggest maybe a bit more that it could be a B side because you need them to get a reliable bottom plant down, but it's still hard to tell on this map. It's a pretty open map in that sense.
It is. It is. I'm just glad to see NaVi starting on CT side because I do enjoy watching their CT on Overpass. We see a lot of aggression towards long with Edward and Guardian doubling up, but also towards mid. If Guardian gets that op, I think it's going to be very key here for NaVi to win that pistol so that Guardian can get that op as quick as possible because him and Fallen have got a little bit of a similar style sometimes when it comes to pushing mid, looking for flicks, looking for shots. And when Guardian's feeling it, I mean, he is one of those very rapid oppers who can just hit any kind of shot. And that's what you want from a guy who's going to be playing around long restrooms, that area of the map. He needs to be able to do some close quarters work as well as look for the long range shots.
You have to love this as well, technical pause texture bug. So
interesting.
Yeah, but it's great to have the detail about what's actually going on. I mean, that could happen sometimes. If someone tabs in and out or something like that, you can have some weird bugs that pop up. So good to know that they're sorting it out and fixing it, and then we should be good to go. I'm very excited as well for this game. I just generally think Immortals is a really fun team to watch. Like I think they just play enjoyable Counter-Strike. I can't remember the last time that I saw an Immortals match that was boring in any way. Like, it's always good. There's always something happening, and they get emotionally so invested into the game that you feel like you sort of almost have to be a bit of a fan of them just because of you get to ride that train with them, and it's super great.
Well, these guys have got a lot to prove, right? Everybody's kind of poo-pooed them as being the farm team for SK, right? You guys are second best. And really, if you're going to have any talent, SK are just going to go ahead, reach down, pluck them up. Hello, Phelps. And so, when you're Immortals, right, you have a lot to prove in the sense that you want to make the playoffs. Better yet, you want to make the playoffs by beating SK, by having a match like that where you're going to say, right, this is it. This is the goal, is to be the best in Brazil and then the best in the world, but the best in the Brazil. And if we can beat SK doing that, well, there we go. We made a huge statement to the world that, we are now a team and we have arrived. So they've already made it to the major. Great. Now they really do need results here at the major to show that they are also, in contention.
Yeah, and it feels like they should have made the last major as well. It was like a big disappointment that they didn't. Even then, they looked like they could have done that. So it is good to see them finally being here. If you have any friends that aren't already watching, go and get them invited. Just ask them to join up either in the game or in Twitch or wherever you're watching from. Definitely well worth it. Even if it's Overpass, you want that drop rate to go up. It's very important. It's all about the drop zone, whether if you realize, but it is.
Yeah, the more people you have watching, the more drops there are. But then, there's just more people to go around, right? So
yeah, but that's why the rate itself goes up. No, it doesn't. It actually does increase your chance. I checked it out because otherwise I'm not going to invite people to watch the stream if they're going to steal my drops.
How many IPs have you logged in? To just maximize the drop rate.
My phone, my tablet, every phone that I could get on. No, I don't think you can actually. I mean, then you would have different accounts. Too much effort for me, Sumner. I can't do that. One account is enough. That'll do. But I noticed this, and this is something that I read every major. It's always complaints. There's always like one guy who's like, "Oh, I got 7 drops. It's amazing." And there's one guy's like, "I watched all of it every single day and night, and I got nothing." I
have watched, and you feel really bad for the guys who are like, "I have watched 3 majors now, and I've still gotten no drops." It's like, ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I think I got a Galil. That was the one drop that I have because I don't bother with the whole logging into just like farm drops or any of that stuff like. So I got lucky. I think it was, when was it? It was 2014 some point. I just got lucky. I think it was Katowice or something like that. I just got lucky with
I have some from the first major that have like the weird stickers on them when they still had like the snowman stickers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have a couple of those, so I don't know how many of those are around. Maybe we'll find out one day. It looks like the game is live. NaVi on the CT side, Immortals on the T side. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, here. It's Overpass, best of one. And again, just to reiterate, both the teams 1-1 scoreline. So this is not the end of the road for either of them, but obviously a lot on the line here. And not a single smoke gets picked up on Immortals. That's a bold move. You're fighting long range against USPs, and you've got nothing to close the distance with.
Oh, well, look, the aggressive setup here. This is what NaVi like to do. Edward and Guardian at long. Edward pushed up by Tree, looking for the shots. He's got Guardian there as well to help him out. And eventually, Edward, is he actually going to find a kill or not? Somehow he's still alive. And there, finally, one headshot. Gets the second, looking for the third, and he's going to find that as well. Edward, there you go. That's the kind of level that NaVi need to bring to the table here to start things off.
Man, I wish those 3 kills could have come in right at the beginning and we could have skipped the first 10 seconds of everyone missing all the bullets. I don't understand how. It's one thing that Edward didn't get all the kills right away, but what about the rest of his team? Where were they? Where were Guardian? Why was no one hitting any shots? Steel going to go down as well to Flamey, and at the end of the day, can't complain too much. Things are looking great. A quad kill for Edward and all of them headshots. He's looking so sharp these days. Have you noticed this? He's just like, his beard has been trimmed, his hair's been cut. He's looking so much in focus. I love it.
Yeah, he's lost some weight too, man. He's
really
he's lethal.
He's really looking like a true competitor here. So NaVi with the first round, and Immortals just getting completely stopped on long. Just going for a picnic there. Bikers there, little basket.
Yeah, they're gonna set up the corpses afterwards. Edward's gonna take a picture. Just another day in the sun. Memories. Well, what are you gonna do now if you're Immortals? You're like, well, okay, pistol definitely didn't work. Now it looks like it's gonna be an explosive play onto the B site here. They have a flash grenade to work with, a bunch of Tech 9s and Kevlar, and it's just gonna be the run and gun. And I mean, it's Seized and Flamey, and Seized is gonna be in a hot spot. He only gets the 1 kill before getting taken out.
Edward will get one in return. The bomb is down, so they kind of have to commit to the bomb site. They've got Steel trying to hold back the flood of NaVi players coming in through the lower part of the bomb site. Steel will go down right away, and KNG not even able to get the bomb plant there. So team ace overall for NaVi, everyone picking up a kill, and no bomb plant for Immortals. Looked like they had the opportunity. Yeah,
it looked like they had a chance. If they had a single smoke grenade for upper right, then they do have that chance. They just smoke off the 2 NaVi players who are camping up there, and they can get onto that site and plant. But it looks like KNG just not able to find the time. But, you know, if you're Immortals, just shake it off. You have a hard, like, you have another round here where it's going to be a bit rough for you. Hard eco for them. $300 picked up by Lucas on the P250. But that is it. NaVi, 2 SMGs. So I want to see Seized and Guardian out there aggro looking for shots. And Guardian, sure enough, he's going to connector early.
Yeah, I don't think Immortals are really going to care too much about this. They've been through this so many times that they know how to just take a deep breath. Best thing, obviously, if they could find like an M4 to die to, or we can see people dying on Molotovs recently, just to try and make sure that there's not too much money. They found Simple, so that's not too bad.
Simple, stop. Yep, look, Seized and Guardian are just charging forward. They're like, please. There we go, Guardian with 2, and that's perfect. That's ideal if you're NaVi. 2 kills on the UMP for Guardian. Edward takes the last one, but when your offer is getting that much money right off the bat, 7,600 in the bank now for Guardian, that is perfect if you're NaVi. You're pretty happy about this situation.
Absolutely, and they've only suffered 1 death on Seized in the first 3 rounds here, NaVi, so a lot of money on them, not so much on Immortals, but now is their chance to really shine. And we'll see what they could do with all of these AKs. Guardian has picked up the AWP pretty predictably with all that money, as you were pointing out. So I feel like not really seen anything out of Immortals yet. We'll give them more of a chance to make a real impact here in the first half. Standard smoke to look over for Guardian. Very aggressive. He's pushing up very far, and he's going to get the kill on KNG. A great way to get started, flashing his way back. Is Lucas going to be able to punish him? He was walking through the smoke, but can't quite catch him. Now he's going to go for the shot, and Lucas is there and ready. Simple might want to be careful here.
Simple's trying to look for a way out. Now that 1 flash should give it away. Steel is just holding passively in connector. He had a chance to perhaps catch Simple, but he doesn't react quick enough, and we allow this to come back to a 4-on-4. Immortals still holding on to 3 smokes and a single flash. But now they actually have a little bit of map control to work with here. Clearing out connector, getting control of top mid. They have the time as well with a minute left, and so they should just take a deep breath and start getting methodical.
Yeah, plenty of time. Still have bolts lingering outside of the B bomb side just to try and see if he can cause a bit of a distraction. It is keeping 2 people on there. We'll see if anything can happen here in the last 40 seconds. Still 3 smokes that could be deployed, and they have the map control to do it as well, so it seems like it will be some sort of A hit coming in.
I'm wondering if Guardian was expecting Simple to be a bit more aggressive from Connector in mid, which is why he lingered around there. Or perhaps he was lingering because Simple was stuck in Connector. I don't know. Interesting communication, it comes down to it, but Edward has pushed aggro in restrooms, and we're about to see if he's going to be able to rack up some kills.
They don't check the corner. He will indeed. Gets one. Lucas with a refrag. And now it's a 3-on-3. Henny moving in with the AWP. They only have 14 seconds. They need to end this round right now. The bomb is dropped. Simple with another kill, making it a double. Looking for the triple. And last couple of bullets. He's going to do it and stealing the AWP. That's 4 rounds for NaVi and Immortals. If you only have, 20 seconds, you need to make that a decisive push, not sort of, slithering onto the bomb site one player at a time. That's not quite good enough.
Simple had a big stick, and he was able to just keep the head pinned down, cut it off.
That's the mental images in my mind, Samler. I was getting worried for the whole broadcast for just a couple of moments there.
Well, I mean, let's go ahead and see if there's going to be anything more that comes up in this match, because right now it's going to be pistols for Immortals. If you're Immortals right now, don't get too flustered. That wasn't a very good buy that you had going into it. You had your rifles, you had a couple of nades, but you're still limited. No mollies, that sort of issue. And so really just put your hopes on the 6th round, because this is a fairly hard eco. Steel investing a little bit more into the round. What? How is he not dead?
Just a leg shot. Simple there to try and clean it up. Looks like a pretty solid defense overall here. Someone still hoping for a headshot. Lucas, not going to be able to get it. And speaking of Lucas, he's the only one who has any kills on Immortals right now. Everyone else is just a, conscientious objector and just, just enjoying the show for a moment. But you're right. I mean, every team in Counter-Strike, especially this level, will have had openings like this where you go down, 5-0. Doesn't feel great, but I think you've been through the routine of doing it so many times now that they should have even Immortals should have the experience of saying, yeah, let's just take a deep breath and make this work anyway. Now they've got the double orb on T side as well, and quite a bit of utility, so we'll see what they come up with here. Could be fun to see KNG go at it against Guardian.
There was a smoke to top, and the shots from the M4 as well, just letting Immortals know that NaVi have played very aggressive top mid to start things off, and I like that a lot from NaVi, because they don't even need to linger. Once they show a presence, it's just going to burn time off that clock for Immortals. Instead, it's going to be the fight on short. Bolts couldn't be worse timing. Steel somehow finds that headshot on Flamey. But the opportunity was there. Flamey, he had him with the knife out.
And it's a very uncomfortable fight for everybody, pretty much. Guardian goes down regardless. Bolts is a headshot as the smoke is already up. Trying to push through it anyway. Might have been a bit too much, but it's still a 2-on-4 here. There should be no way that NaVi can win this. In fact, look at the clock. There's so much time left. Immortals making a smart choice here.
NaVi, very quick rotate from them. 2 players already on the B site, but Bolts, he's not wasting any time at all. Very quick play from him, and the call immediately, you saw him talking as he died, and the bomb immediately starts rotating back over here towards the A site. KNG, Lucas, Henny, everybody ready to just go ahead and get this free plant. Do they expect Edward to have rotated all the way through T-spawn so quickly?
Simple is still down there. I think the best they can hope for is just exit kills, maybe, for Edward. That wouldn't be bad if he could camp out long and pick up a couple of people. Obviously, nothing that Simple could do at this point in time, so...
You're right, though, Anders, because look at the money on NaVi. They're filthy rich. Immortals, every one of these guns is so valuable. Dude, Steel with 12 HP just wins flat out versus Simple. How does that even happen?
Just needed 1 bullet. But Edward... Usually don't see him with the AWP, but maybe he get a couple of kills here. That would be big, especially if he could steal one of those orbs away from Immortals, who are going to pick up their first rounds. A great job on them. Big opening with the first fight down in sewer. Edward camping behind the rock. He's going to get that 1 kill. Sees the second player as well. Lucas going to be able to live throughout the round. The Immortals making it 5-1. And yeah, that was just, I mean, as soon as he got that first fight, then killing Guardian, and then following up through the smoke. It's all done there. Not much else to say, really.
It's that timing that's just built in. Bolts, that was his round. He just knew how to read every step of the way. But I like this from NaVi. 1 round goes for Immortals. They call a timeout. They've got 4 of them. And so Andy, a very involved coach, deep into the analytical side, but also in the tactics for the team. he is not going to hesitate to call for that timeout and say, right, this is what's going on, and this is how we need to adjust. I like that a lot from Andy. He's one of the few coaches actually that we have that's really involved on the analytical and statistical or strategic side of the game for NaVi. Him and Seized are working very well together as a duo.
And you want to see that, especially at this level. And I think especially for a team like NaVi that lost Zeus, or, you know, got rid of Zeus, they definitely lost a big part of that game, and maybe he could help to bring it back. Edward playing well at the moment, Simple also playing well. NaVi still up 4 rounds, but we'll see if Immortals can continue to bring it back. They have so much utility right now. They can burn out every single angle they need. Grenade is going to be raining in. Oh, it's a bit too slow. That would have been nice if it could have gone a little bit further. Hit KNG right in the face. I think Cease must have seen that leg.
Yeah, Cease spotted it, and so Guardian, he still remains. When that door opens, will they be ready for this boost, however? If they do open it, I mean, it looks like, yeah, Steel, there's the flash, and they've been spotted, and they're taking tremendous damage. Edward and Guardian sprayed through the wall down to half HP already.
They're going to boost against Henny. They must have thought that shot went through the wall and not right over it. Easy kill, and it didn't hit the next one against Edward, or was that someone else spraying? Am I confused here? Because Edward, he was a bit low already, but he got dropped down to 8.
What a sick read from Henny, though. He just read Guardian like a book. Already prepared for the second boost. Easy shot for him, not going to miss that. And now NaVi playing from behind here in this match, or in this round at least. Man advantage for Immortals. Edward limping along. Hardly any HP to speak of.
This is where you'd want to see some sort of risk being taken by NaVi. And I guess the risk is that they have 3 people stacked on B. I'd love it if someone could go aggressive and just find somebody. Instead, it's Bolts picking up Seized. Flamey with the refrag, but he's down to half health, and now everything rests on the shoulders of Simple. He's up on this bomb site alone. Flashed back for a moment. You see, he must have seen that one player. Now the bomb is being planted right in front of him. He's got no chance to stop it either, so is it worth for NaVi to go for this retake now? It probably definitely isn't.
No, this is where we start to hesitate, exactly. Flamey so low on HP from the fight earlier. Easy shot there for Steel, and Simple, he gets the headshot, but that's not good enough when you have the M4. Steel not going to miss his. 2 rounds now in a row, back-to-back for Immortals. But it's not the end of days here for NaVi. Still, they had so much money after that strong start, after the 5 rounds in a row, that they're able to get a bye with an AWP again here for Guardian. But yeah, we're going to get the replay here. Guardian, you know, calling out for the boost.
And we actually see the damage that Edward takes here as well. So it's just from the AK spray that comes through. But that's so much to get out of that one situation. It's almost unbelievable.
Guardian, I mean, there was a chance there, though. He hits the shot on Lucas first. Just a leg, though, it looked like. Weird stuff. And Guardian, once again, aggressive in mid. So NaVi really trying to put just a pressure on at the beginning of the round. This is how you're supposed to play Overpass on CT side. You need to show just a bit of presence at top mid, at long, so that Immortals don't get too comfortable and don't feel like they can just get map control by running around without checking the corners.
Bit of a split here for Immortals. Normally, you just have one person outside of B, and we've seen that to be Bolts so far, but he's accompanied this time by KNG, so you wonder if they are all eventually going to end up towards the B bomb side after they've pushed NaVi back from the position, or at least tried. Steel is going to be going down. That's a good flick from Guardian. Pretty much par for the course on his level, but still, it's going to be annoying for Steel, because now, not only have they not really, they don't know at least if they pushed them back or not. Also lost a player. Lucas trying to make himself a bit bigger over here. A lot of presence for him, but he's going to get shot down by Simple. And now the rest of this push, it was meant to be a B push. How is it going to work out?
All 3 players, Flamey and Seized, still holding solid here on the B side as well. You can see Seized looking for the headshot angle, and he's going to find it. 1 spray with the help of Flamey, but Flamey gets wallbanged in the meantime, and there's Seized going down. But this is still a man advantage for NaVi going into the retake, and it looks like NaVi are not going to waste any time at all. They're looking for the fight, trying to deny the plant.
20 seconds here for the 2v2 to get the bomb plant down. Definitely not easy. KNG walking in. Gonna go down for Guardian, and now everything rides on Henny here. He's got the AWP, but he's locked in behind. They do spot him out. He gets the leg shot, the double leg shot. Guardian and Edward both down to 15 and both surviving. That's ridiculous. I need to see that again.
It shows you just how close it can be to him getting the clutch collateral 2-for-1 shot, or obviously dying in a horrible way.
My God, man, I mean, if Immortals win that, it breaks Navi's economy. Everything is suddenly lined up for them. 6-2 is the scoreline instead. Moving into the 9th round, we've got the AWP on Simple. Guardian should have the other one, I believe, and see how it all plays out. Double AWP on Immortals once again, so 4 AWPs in play. It's Overpass. You can totally do this.
Absolutely. It's just so rare to see, right? You get the 4 ops, 4 competent oppers as well, no less. And so now we get to see who's going to find that first pick. And once again, aggro mid a little bit, but this time the focus is going to be all long for NaVi. Simple set up with one of his AWPs over here. And Guardian as well. They had both ops on the A side of the map here for NaVi. Whereas KNG, he's just sitting and waiting, hoping somebody's going to peek him at Monster.
Very defensive setup this time for the NaVi team. Allowing Bolts to get all the way in here, and he's really tuned in. Good with the flick. He's very low on health, so might not be able to make it out. Flamey can't quite see it, and he didn't want to risk the blind shots coming through either. So he's going to be able to escape. That's great individual playmaking on Bolts.
I feel like he's got a real grip of the situation here. But Bolts, I mean, he's just winning these duels, coming through short. It feels like that's a part of the map where he's just comfortable. He knows he can take the fights there. And he's trained for that particular spot because he just keeps winning fight after fight. And that's creating so much space for Immortals. They still have 40 seconds. And they still continue to just sit and wait. A little bit more noise made over here towards the B side by KNG, but the action is about to be over on A. And Simple is holding close restrooms, and he's going to get a shot. No, he misses it right over Lucas's shoulder. Gets the follow-up on Steel, and now he knows. Too many players over here at long. This can't be anything but. And Guardian and Edward are already rotating up to the A site here to try and bolster the defense.
That's so strange, because Simple can see the shadow on the ground. You think he'd had every chance of getting that kill. Now, all of NaVi look a bit out of focus, except for Guardian, who's going to pick up Bolt. That's a huge kill. The rest of the push coming in towards the B-bomb site. Henny gets one, KNG with the next. And now it's a 2-on-1. Guardian trying to jump through the smoke. They don't hit him the first time. Re-peeking into the scope. He gets one. Guardian trying for the second. He actually hits Henny on that shot. The smoke is up and he's hiding inside. Flick not going to connect. The pistol is out instead. Henny's right in front and he's going to win it this time. Couldn't quite do it the last one, but here it comes with a double kill and Immortals picks it up.
That's just ludicrous. Shot after shot. AWPs, point blank. And while both of these oppers, Henny as well, both of these oppers are very capable when it comes to close quarters combat with the sniper rifle. And sure enough, Henny's the one to land the shot when Guardian actually in the game of chicken decides to change it up.
That just looks like it's so close.
For both of them, Guardian looked like he quick-scoped onto him as well.
We're talking about the emotions for Immortals. I love those player cam shots of them reacting. They get so fired up.
The one thing is that it can come back to haunt them when they get too fired up, right? Things start going against them, and then they quiet down.
It's true, but that's a problem for them. For me, it's entertaining, you know? So, yes, I want them to keep doing it. But you are right. I mean, this is talked about a fair bit, right? High highs and low lows and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not wrong. I still just enjoy it so much, you know? Much rather have players who are emotionally invested in the game. 4-man stack on the B-bomb site. Well then.
This was a force buy from NaVi as well.
But even when they had the rifles, they seem to be quite confident in Simple holding the bomb site, and he's holding it far back, so he's going to have almost no warning if anything goes wrong. That's a great grenade on Henny.
Sick damage. Henny waiting to see if Guardian's going to go for that boost again. And this slow, measured style coming in here from Immortals, very disciplined. I'm loving this. Slowly moving their way over towards the restrooms now. They have long. Haven't seen them push long in a few rounds now, and so this might eventually catch Simple off guard. Is he going to go for the shoulder peek?
It's the perfect timing for it. Deagle going the wrong way. If he peeks long here, he's got a really good chance of picking up a shot. There's 1 second as well. Taking down KNG. Everything was in it for the third one. Guardian going to be going down. Lucas doing a great job of getting Immortals back into this round. Only 10 seconds, but the bomb will be going down, and this should be their round here. 3-on-3.
Cold yesterday, Simple now, just headshots galore with these digs. And Flamey, he's got the FAMAS, needs to find the shot, and sure enough, he will, but Henny holding the long angle, takes down Seized. 2v2 retake scenario now, and Edward needs to try and get in here and actually exactly pick up a gun, and he will find the AK. Goes for the spray, but Henny is indomitable. 3 kills for him, picks them off one at a time, and NaVi not able to make that situation shift their way. So we're looking at 6-4 now. And that was the force buy for NaVi, so it doesn't get much prettier here either, Anders, because now hard eco. That's what's in the books for NaVi, and not going to be a pretty buy for them in the next round either.
Oh, man. I mean, few more bullets and Simple just wrecks that whole round. He's doing fairly well for himself. As a matter of fact, he's got 13 and 5, which is quite a bit more than everybody else, especially more than everyone else on Immortals right now. But I still feel like the Brazilian side are just doing a fantastic job. We talked about them. Oh, well, Simple again. Why not? I was trying to speak, but if you have to interrupt, then better do it in style.
I mean, get Simple down here on the B site. There's a reason why they keep looking for opening kills over here on the B site right now. It's just that Flamey and Seized aren't able to win a duel. Seized, he's managed to recover the AK, so he has that going for him. He's going to try and back off. Missed opportunity there for Immortals to get another kill. Well, I say that, and then Bolts, once again, he just keeps delivering frags from short.
Yeah, it takes quite a bit of damage. But yeah, when we were talking about the whole idea of Immortals not being too let down at the thought of 5-0, look at him now. This is the kind of mental strength you want to see out of a team at this level, and they certainly are showing it. So, 4-4 right now in this round. Obviously NaVi with a huge disadvantage with the weapons. KNG moving up, checking one corner, and checking the next, but not quick enough. Edward will pick up the kill, and actually does a fair bit of damage to Lucas as well. Not even sure if that was team damage or Edward, but regardless, still a 3-on-3 with 30 seconds left. If Seized can get that AK into position, actually the boost comes in. That's very interesting. They do give up on it a bit too early. Maybe there would have been a chance.
But Flamey, he finds a shot on both. Traded by Lucas, 2v2 now. Seized pressing forward, trying to get that AK in position, and he does find the shot. Henny, it's time for a rinse and repeat here. You did it in the last round, and sure enough, mid-air shot on Simple, going for the peak, and he's going to spot out Seized as well. This should be a situation that should be impossible for Henny to lose now. It's on Seized to come up with some magic, but Henny backing up, costing him time, and there just isn't going to be enough time here for Seized to get the defuse now. It's all about staying alive, and Henny is not interested in letting that happen. Beautiful, beautiful work from Henny at the end, just playing that situation perfectly.
Some very scary rounds for Immortals here as they keep surviving with, 1 or 2 members alive. They've won the last 3 rounds in a row, and all of them have been down to either a 1v1 or a 2v2. That's a bit too close to the edge, I would say. But the upside is they're keeping NaVi's economy really low, and as long as they can continue to do that, they should be in a good position.
There you go.
I just love it. I think it's so amazing. 12th round coming up here. AKs and AWP, and then on the other team, no AWP for Guardian. That could be a big problem for them.
But Seized winning a duel versus Steel over on B. That is big. Seized and Flamey have had a pretty rough time of it so far in this first half. For Seized to actually win a duel straight up like that, it's a bit of a confidence boost for him, for sure. And he needs it right now in that B defense. But Immortals, they're already pushing through long, and this might be the opportunity for him here. KNG with the AK, not with the AWP. It's Henny who's going to be backing him up with the sniper rifle. When do they decide it's time to push? Looks like Henny was trying to keep an eye on things, see if anybody was going to go for the peak.
He's so quick. We've seen it the last couple of rounds. Any little pixel, and KNG certainly's got it too. Taking down Guardian, moving on to the site, not checking the truck quick enough, but Lucas will be there. And Lucas with the follow-up kill on Flamey, and that's just the whole side gone.
It's unbelievable. Both shots, KNG just surviving. All he had to do was be bait. Now it's Seized and Simple. 2v4, no chance at all. Simple is stuck. Needs to find a way down into the lower halls because he is, yeah, look at this, just burning like a fire. The floor is lava. He can't get down.
Oh, that meme just never goes away, does it? Oh, they're shooting through Simple. How did they realize? Seized can't help him either. Simple's got 1 health, so he's got to get quite far away from this bomb, and there are people waiting for him. I don't think he's going to survive here, unfortunately.
No, he's a bit too close.
Yeah. Pretty sure that the bomb is going to do a little bit of damage to him in this corner.
Oh, but he takes one with him at least, I guess.
Small upside. This is quite remarkable. That's now 4 rounds in a row here for Immortals, tying up the scoreline at 6-6. And yeah, the money. NaVi, we've seen this yesterday.
Yeah.
Playing on the CT side, just don't have the economy to buy anything.
And that's
Not
why
good.
It's just completely flipped now. With 3 rounds left in the half, NaVi, they are the ones who have to go for the half buy here in this round. You can see Seized and Simple investing a little bit in Kevlar and pistols, but it's all about the next round where they're going to have the money for the ops and they're going to have the money for full nades. But they need to just kind of grit their teeth and bear it here, because Immortals are now poised to take the lead. It's 6-6. And Immortals, they're not lacking for anything right now. They have everything they need.
It's kind of curious how NaVi sort of gave up on the idea of having any kind of forward defense towards the birthday party area. They tried it a couple of rounds and they had both success and failure, but I feel like there was no sort of decisive reason why they had to quit doing that. Because now you see some of the, like the last one especially, where Immortals actually walk into the A bomb site, and only when they're there is when NaVi think, oh damn, they're on the bomb site. You know, that's not enough time to react basically. Needs some more information before that happens. Oh no.
Once again. Here it goes. Oh, what? Perfect.
That's not bad at all. Couple of wallbang shots coming out. Over at long, Edward getting shot in the back by KNG was coming in and steal. Bit too close for the C-set, 75. Gonna end up going down.
Bolts needs to take over on short again. Well, Bolts just, I guess, from anywhere. 2 headshots for him on the B site. Now they can even back off the bomb. It's already rotating back over there based off of Bolts managing to get practically into the bomb site itself. Now, in the other free round, Guardian, he's going to get a parting shot, so that's nice for him. But Lucas is here. Whoa, the follow-up one. That was sick, Guardian. 1v2 with the AK, no Kevlar, no kit. And unfortunately for him, no life either. Bolts is just everywhere. He is in all places. 2 of those kills he gets on opponents who have no idea that he's that far out.
This whole game for Bolts has been really quite amazing. I mean, it's not just the fact that he's sort of top of the scoreboard for Immortals, it's also so many of the kills are opening frags on the B-bomb side. I mean, that's so incredibly... Even if that's all he did and didn't get anything else done, if you can just... If every round you can count on Bolts to sort of walk in and kill someone on B, that's fine. Just let him do that and nothing else. 7-6 moving into the 14th round here. And NaVi have money at least.
It hinges on Guardian having the AWP, this mid-aggression from them at birthday. Because again, Guardian, Simple, moving together as a duo. They're trying to hunt them down, though. He might not make it out of here intact. Decides to hang around, but now he has to worry about his left flank. And he will have his teammate there, but Henning jumping right into the angle. That's not going to be good enough, though. 3 players, 4 Immortals looking for the trade, and they find it. And even better, just push right through the smoke and catch Guardian before he can get onto the site.
Taking out Edward as well. Guardian also getting stuck on the ledge, and KNG so aggressive to take down Seas. They just... right now, they're just beating the timing that NaVi have. You know, NaVi thinking, okay, we'll push up and take a bit of a fight, then we'll fall back to the next position and, you know, we'll fight them again. And Immortals just keep running. Like, that's very hard to deal with if you're NaVi. You can tell that they got caught out of position. The last 3 kills of that round were just all, you know, positional kills where NaVi aren't expecting Immortals to be that fast. That's quite impressive. And it will spawn an 8th round here for the Brazilian side. This could be a very interesting game now. So this is going to be the 6th round that they win in a row here, Immortals, and that's all good. But you have to realize a lot of that's also off the back of the fact that NaVi just don't have any economy. Yeah. So there is that little element to it as well, and it's worth thinking about when we get into the second half. See how good Immortals can retain the economy. That seems to be a reoccurring topic in this group stage here for the Major. Just how do you keep the CT economy alive? People don't seem to do that or can't do it.
Yeah, we're seeing teams go for the forces and then not have the nades when it comes to the full buy. So that's what you have to start wondering. Is it time to start shifting out of that strategy? Just going for hard ecos and trying to have as much money as possible for the nades that will make the difference on the CT side. We've seen NaVi go for buys like this one, but also where they just had M4s and like no nades. And you're there, well, why aren't you going at least for a UMP so you can have a few more nades to work with, right on 2 guys, for example. The nades are so key on CT side to smoke off these choke points and to buy time. But no AWP in play for NaVi, and so Guardian playing passive mid. He looks like he's going to try and get in position to back up Simple. So I do like to see that. And Edward is still kind of caught in connector, actually. So this could get a little nasty here.
They have got him cornered, but they've got to worry about the fact that he has the Mag 7. Sometimes you don't want to put players like that too close. Bolts with KNG getting a kill. KNG picking up the second as well, taking down Flamey. And Edward coming in, almost got the timing right, but Lucas a bit too quick. Going to pick up Simple as well here in the last kill. The 15th round is going to go to Henny, making it 9-6 in favor of Immortals. What a great comeback from being down 5-0, you know, losing 5 rounds in a row and probably feeling a bit miserable. And then after that, NaVi only played up 1 single round. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was the Immortals show. But you have to, the man on your screen right there in the middle, Bolts, right? We did kind of switch immediately to NaVi as I said that, but it doesn't matter. You saw him, Bolts. I think you can put a lot of it on him. A, he's got the calls, and B, he kept winning duels on short and B, and that, you could tell, just kept throwing NaVi out of whack. Made his life easier, and made Immortals' life easier when it came to actually executing onto a site. If you keep doing it with a man or 2-man advantage, it's so hard for NaVi to have the individual plays to counteract that. Guardian came close, and that's probably another big round where the 1v1 clutch versus Henny. Had Guardian won that round, we might be looking at a different scoreline here for NaVi. But between Bolts and Henny, Immortals are just looking fantastic right now.
Battle and Sewer, KNG with a couple of clicks, Henny as well, and moving in, KNG almost gets the next, but Simple with the triple return. Oh my god, absolute apocalypse in the Sewer here, and now it's Bolts and Guardian in a 1 versus 1 with 1 minute and 25 seconds left. That's so much time. Guardian can pick up the bomb and run anywhere that he wants to, and Bolts, I think, has a bit of maybe a harder task on his hands. He has to guess when Guardian is going. This is all down to some element of random timing as well. He's out of the audio range of Bolts, so Bolts won't know that he's run all the way up here. Probably when he walks on the bomb side, he's going to start to think, it's a bit strange that no one is here. I don't know how this is going to play out, but what an explosive beginning to the second half.
Yep, there we go. Audio cue. Bomb has been planted, and Bolt's now rotating up.
Molotov on Guardian.
Yeah, he knows. How does he use it?
Well, Bolts has a smoke, but no kit. This is sort of a rock, paper, scissors kind of situation where it's very hard to know exactly how it's going to work out. There's the smoke cancelling out anything. Guardian hoping for the click, missing every single shot. Oh my god! 5 seconds left. He's going to get another go. Finally, he's hitting them, and he's going to be able to take him down through the smoke. If he had had a kit, that would have been a 1 round. So I guess, what does that mean? USP beats no kit in the rock, paper, scissors, Counter-Strike.
Where's the kit?
Madness, absolute madness.
The head shake from Guardian at the end where he's like, okay. Actually worked out that he didn't have a kit picked up. And we're seeing it here, and it's ticking down. Yep, it would have been 1 if he had a kit. That was it.
Yeah, it
Large
definitely
margin.
would have. No issue at all, in fact, with the... Seized, I think, was getting a bit nervous as well. Just a release of energy there. You're just seeing your teammate just disappearing shots into the smoke and nothing is happening. Oh my god.
Well, now, do NaVi manage to extend this at all? Do we get a real game on our hands here? Or do Immortals win the Force? Because they've gone for the Force buy. Again, not prioritizing nades in the 4th round buy. Just trying to put it all here and see if they can get something out of it. Henny, he did get something out of it. He got a few bullets. That's no fun.
I would be very careful about challenging this scout on long. It might not be worth it. I mean, there's no real reason. At least throw some grenades if you're really going to fight him, but just peeking him like this, what if he hits a headshot or just 2 or 3 body shots? Like, it isn't worth it.
Yeah. It's the body shots that are killer. It's like, yeah, obviously if he gets frags, but I mean, if he keeps tagging up your guys and dropping them down to 30 HP, that's no fun. That's where you start getting in risk with the 5.7s and the CZs. It makes life so much easier for Immortals.
Yeah.
So they're changing it up. They want to get close quarters on this. Wrap through restrooms and see if they can just blow up onto the site.
KNG gonna walk right into it. That's an easy kill. And that probably will spark the push on towards the A-bomb site. Henny goes down, Simple. Even if he was low on health, still able to pick up the kill, no problem. Grenade gonna be traded against Bolts, who gives 1 back. Still looking quite comfortable here for NaVi. They will lose Flamey. Lucas having a fight with Edward over at the bank. Lucas on 4 health, so...
by the way, the bomb needs to get planted at some point. Okay, never mind.
You say that, but...
It's like 12 seconds left. They're still fighting.
That's a slight risk. Like, if you lose both those fights, then suddenly it's, you know, 2 versus 1 and the bomb isn't planted with 12 seconds. So, yeah, you're right. Don't want any of that. NaVi on the comeback trail here. 9-8. Anything can happen at this point. I mean, again, we've been sort of hammering this point home a lot, but really a lot of it comes down to, can Immortals keep their economy afloat in the second half? So far, in this group stage of the major, it seemed like on all maps, some worse than others, but pretty much on all maps, the CT side is struggling to do that. So, see how it plays out.
Oh, well, that's awkward.
Yes.
Sorry about that, Steel. Flamey, long range with the MAC-10. And, well, it's a free bomb site. They're going to get the plant. No problem at all. Nobody actually covering for C's. That's a little bit risky for him. Obviously, if somebody is on upper, he's a dead man. But whatever. Luck favors him this time around. And Guardian, yes, going to be able to spot out Henny. KNG has taken Flamey in the meantime, though. And so Guardian will find the shot. And I like that. Simple. You don't need to go and hunt the kill with the AK. Let the guy with the MAC-10 find the shot. Let him get the kill. Let him make the money. It's the whole point of him investing in an SMG.
Just running all over the place. Looking for the last members of Immortals if they can find them anywhere. They're making a lot of noise, and you can see Immortals trying to sort of dodge it a bit as much as they can. They do pick up another kill, and one more at that. If they could just get the AK. He actually has picked it up, KNG. He's around the corner. Simple wants to fight him. Going very low, but at least steals the AK back. That's good news.
Yeah, expensive round, though, for NaVi. In the end. I mean, Guardian finding 2 kills, or finding a kill at least with the MAC-10. Flamey as well. Spending a whole lot more than they wanted to, though, here. And so, does Guardian hold on to the AK? Yeah, he does. Interesting. No AWP in play here for NaVi going into this round, where, of course, Henny actually managed to just squeak by and pick one up. I think that's KNG sacrificing himself for him. We're seeing a shift here in Immortals as well. KNG was the one who seems like the primary operator just at the major qualifier not too long ago, and now it's Henny who's actually getting the AWP priority.
My God, Edward is quick. Flashbang is in. He's going to pick up one. Goes for the refrag. And Flamey there to pick off Steel. Henny goes down to Simple now. KNG all alone on the bomb site. And Flamey, great secondary entry there. He got the first one on the ramp as well. Leaving Bolts in a 1 versus 3. Sees where that smoke is coming from. But now the bomb is being planted and he goes down. Flamey with a triple. That's such an aggressive push. So the Molotov is up. They obviously throw that from the other side of the railway.
Yeah.
And then once they get to the L-bend, the Molotov is just disappearing. The people outside of the bomb site are still throwing flashbangs in so that they can get that over. That's so well coordinated by NaVi. That was a beautiful round. And you could, and even worse for Immortals. There was a guy jumping for the peak. He was just out of sync with the fact that Edward was running in. So he was out of, he was behind the wall when Edward was running in, and then they just didn't know what was happening. Couldn't be better.
We're seeing the short smoke go down again here. Curious to see if we're going to see a repeat. Not quite as clear. It's like NaVi are not interested in running into a trap. They know that there's going to be pistols here for Immortals. And so 10-9, NaVi in the lead now. On T side, they saved the AWP from the last round as well. Very nicely donated by Henny. Guardian gives thanks. And well, no reason to rush things, it looks like, here for NaVi. Instead, move together. Flash setup. Going to be clearing out short. Simple's now got connector. And sure enough, it's looking like NaVi are just slowly working their way here towards the B site. I don't think Simple spotted the man in connector there.
No.
Bolts could have a chance here to ruin things.
It's very annoying for Bolts that Simple closed the door, though, because otherwise he could have like a little cheeky angle. But now he has to actually open the door himself. Lucas gets one steal with the next. Is it going to spiral out of control here? Immortals with the first 2 kills of the round. They need to bring this back right away, NaVi. Bolts now sniping away in connector, trying to see if he can find the face of Simple. Instead, Simple will get the refire. A sign of life here for NaVi. Now it's a 3 versus 4 still. With only 40 seconds, the bomb trying to make its way back. Spray through. Looked like that could have been deadly.
Oh boy. That's deadly. That's the bomb! 30 seconds left and C's has to run over here now. Doesn't know if Henny's holding close. The Molotov to buy even more time.
That actually kills the round.
That's so perfect.
They actually cannot. I don't think they can get. By the time this is going to run up, I think this is going to be just a bit too long to actually run to the bomb site.
You gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. And basically you need Simple to clear the way. Simple has to run straight out onto the B site and find the shot on Lucas. And now, well, life gets difficult because Lucas can stop C's from running in. There is no time to waste. C's just has to run in and plant, and it's just not going to work. He's going to get denied, and you see him like just doing the rotation with the mouse.
Unbelievable. He just makes it. He was at 6 seconds when he started to plant that bomb. So 2 more seconds and it would have been too late regardless.
That Molotov was so sick.
Yeah, that's I was trying to do the math in my head about like just like because it buys quite a bit of time, right? And he can't really do anything about it. So that's remarkable. If you had a smoke or something, you could have caught another 5 seconds off of that, but that's so hard to deal with. What a way to lose a round. Immortal striking back. getting the first couple of kills, and then the bomb being dropped. Edward down the ladder. Ties up the scoreline at 10-10. Double AWP on Immortals, and the one on Guardian there. Let's see what happens here. This is now... We said it might be an explosive game. I think we're getting our money's worth right now.
Yeah. To use a quote from Hank, now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Should use more Hank quotes. I like that.
Don't think we can say many of them on stream, Anders. But, you know, we'll keep it in mind.
It's true. Very true, actually.
But just that's kind of what you need at this point if you're Immortals, though. You need a little bit of a lucky draw. Winning an eco round like that. Managing to just... Because otherwise you're looking at 11 to 9. You're not in double digits. But now Immortals... They get kind of a new lease on life because they saved so many guns from that last round. Look at that, 3 AKs, AWP. You've got 3 guys who actually have halfway decent money on it, or 4 guys rather, who have halfway decent money on Immortals now. And so if they lose this round, it's not the end of the world. They could even go for a 4 spy and get right back into it.
Oh, damn, what a shot from Henny, but he doesn't realize there is an army coming for him. He's smoked up on one side. Grenades are rushing in. He's going to get one more kill. Close range. Gets a headshot on Edward. And finally, they take down Henny, but that's a remarkable triple kill. Dropping almost all of the NaVi team. And he was alone. There's no cover or anything. They had him boxed in. They had so many grenades, and they couldn't take care of him.
That's not how you're supposed to do that. That's not how that's supposed to happen. Should be just the bombardment with the nades, making use of the advantage, and then...
Well, there's one issue that's going to be at the back of NaVi's mind in that situation. That's the fact that if they want to throw Molotovs in, they have to peek a fairly wide angle, and if he's scoping there, then they have a grenade in hand as they go down. Bolts gets a kill on Simple. Flamey, the spray on one, picks up the AWP. With 6 seconds, he's going to be going down. That'll be Immortals winning another round, largely due to Henny just being... a bit of a rock out there.
That's what we're talking about, right? One of the key factors to victory for Immortals is going to be Henny and his ability to come up with plays like that, point blank with the AWP. Just taking over rounds. That's a quality that every top team needs. They need to have a couple of players who are capable of doing that. And so we got a little bit of a demonstration here from Henny. Bolts, obviously going to be rallying the troops, but I think right now for NaVi, it's Andy, their coach, who's doing the most of the talking.
This first peek here.
Yeah.
Sees him. He's got the adjustment. But the fact that they can't do anything, they have 4 Molotovs in this position, and what they throw is what? A single flashbang, and that was it. And it's not even a great flashbang. Like, it goes like way into the wall and almost lands behind Henny. Like, you know, at least take the time, make it a pop flash or something, or use some of the Molotovs. But a little bit of panic on NaVi cost them a lot. Now we've got Tech 9s on everybody and a lot of grenades too. This could be a fairly quick round, or at least sort of a contact play, where they just edge their way closer, and as soon as they run into any opposition, then it's go time.
Yeah. You've got the connector control coming up here for NaVi. Guardian and Simple working together as a duo. Seized is going to be backing up Edward, and Flamey just making sure that they can't get aggressive over on the B side of things here for Immortals. Fairly slow stuff, actually, measured, but they are checking everywhere. And this is one thing that's been fairly frustrating for NaVi, is the fact that they aren't afraid to play connector, Immortals, and that puts a lot of pressure over towards B or A. So Guardian, if they want to wind up on B, which looks like that's going to be the case, they need to clear out top mid, they need to clear out connector to make sure that nobody can rotate in quickly behind them into sewers and get that flank going.
Pretty high flashbang coming in, already affecting anybody. And now NaVi is setting up for the execute. 50 seconds, so plenty of time, but now is as good a time as any. Trying to see if they can block off some of those AWPs, which is always a good idea. They are making their way in, and looks like they could definitely get the bomb plant at least. Steele and Lucas picking up a couple of good headshots with the AK and M4. Bomb will be planted, but going to be nearly impossible for NaVi to hold on to it here. Simple, with 23 kills in the game, top fragging at the moment, but with a Tech 9 against 4, it's just not enough.
They don't even get the plant, Anders. They don't even get the plant.
How do they not, though? I don't understand.
That is what you're wondering. It's like, you've got the smoke walls, you ran a very clean strategy, but Immortals played that retake. I love the fact that Immortals are prepared for a rush on B as well. Both of them holding CT side, other side of the smoke. I mean, no easy frags there for NaVi to get the ball rolling for themselves. But still, to not get the bomb plant, that's frustrating. Because look at the impact this has on Edward's economy, for example. No nades, he has a flash, right? 2 flat, 2 nades on Seized, 3 on Simple, and the Molotovs, they just don't have them. And so Going to be a bit of the aim here that has to come into play for NaVi.
They really needed that bomb plan as well.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the sort of lack of head armor on 3 and also no grenades on those players, so that $800 bonus would have made a big difference in a round like this. Really confused about why they didn't manage to get the bomb down. It might have been a really good grenade. I think Edward got exploded, so that could be part of the reason, but still should have been able to maybe do it a bit quicker. Let's see, 2-round lead for Immortals. NaVi starting to struggle a bit, and in terms of keeping the CT economy alive, like we were talking so much about, that's a big deal, but they will get the kill on Bolts there. Guardian to pick up that one. Now something is working for NaVi. Opening frag and making a big rotation towards the other side, where look, Steel is moving his way in the monster tunnel. When that smoke disappears, what's going to happen? He's going to get flashed in right into Guardian's waiting arms, and now Lucas is in a lot of trouble.
This is finally going right for NaVi. 2 opening frags. Lucas still alive on the site, though, and well, he's shown that he can spray through the smoke before. Just dancing around the bullets right now. Is he going to get the timing right? He's got his teammate very close behind him as well, and hoping to deny the bomb plant. Not going to find it. Perfectly done for NaVi. They're able to back off, and now it's the after plant. Point blank from KNG, though, assassinates Guardian. And he can get the angle onto short as well, but Seized will find his teammate Lucas.
KNG trying again. Henny's there. The double orb is in play, and it's the retake as well. It's so hard to do, but KNG gets a kill. Trying again. Henny tapping the bomb a single time. KNG getting one more frag. It's now a triple for him, and Flamey's on the other side denying the bomb. Hiding in the corner. KNG picking it up for the clutch and the defuse. Absolutely ridiculous. How does that work? Retaking double orb against, what, 4 AKs? That was a 2-on-4. That is never supposed to happen.
No, Anders, because we are always saying that, right? You do not want to have double ops because you run the risk of not being able to execute the retake when you get into it, and KNG's just like, hold my beer. Let me go ahead and get 4 kills real quick, point blank with the op, no scopes galore. I love it. Well, NaVi definitely do not, and you can tell that they are not pleased with that. That is a round where, I mean, that was a 5v3 plant situation. They have everything they need to lock down the round, and somehow they let it slip through their fingers. And so now NaVi, this is where it's a true test. Can they come back from this? Can they get their heads back in the game?
This is completely absurd, isn't it? When Flamey gets the kill through the smoke here, thinking, okay, just a bit of time more, but KNG's relentless. And the reaction, you see, the opposites on both teams here. What a remarkable game this is. 13-10. Now NaVi, I mean, they have some money and they've purchased into this round, so maybe it will be enough, but they're being stretched very thinly right now.
And again, they were prepared for this. Identical setup for Immortals. It's a retake sort of plan. Steel and Lucas, again, holding in CT, allowing for NaVi to get up onto the site and get that bomb plant. Guardian taking a lot of damage in the process, though. But as soon as these smokes clear, Immortals, everybody's going to be able to rotate in, and they can start moving in.
And they've got huge grenade superiority to actually go for the retake, and that's probably part of the plan as well. We'll see if they can execute it as well as they did last time. KNG continuing where he left off in the last round, getting a kill. Seized, going to get zoned out. Lucas is there with a headshot on Edward, and Henny as well. It's just picture perfect. There's nothing left to chance. Bomb is being diffused inside of the smoke. Guardian somehow gets a double. That probably shouldn't have been allowed, and they're going to rediscover the bomb there and will be able to defuse it in time. So a bit risky, but ultimately it will be 14-10. And Immortals now just 2 rounds away.
Cutting it so close. Guardian the hero. And just to remind you all, this is a 1-1 match. Both of these teams, 1 win, 1 loss. And so it's not like their tournament life is on the line, but you definitely want to be with the advantage of being up 1 game right now. And look at just how hard you have to fight to get here. But yeah, we're getting the replay. No, we don't actually get the replay. Sorry. I like that, you know, I'm watching live and you're watching on the stream, so we do kind of get the replay whenever we want it over here.
Yeah, I've got a permanent 30-second delay. It's kind of cool.
That's sick.
It helps if you miss anything that's important, I feel like.
Yeah, it's kind of painful to rewatch Guardian though there, you know, because he gets both kills. And then Henny didn't even have a kit either, so imagine it's like, if Bolts doesn't find that bomb, there's nothing Henny can do.
Yeah. No, there was a minuscule chance that something could have got messed up there. The Immortals are playing just an incredibly high level of Counter-Strike. They're doing more or less everything right, and their economy is so good for it. They've won 5 rounds in a row here. 3 of them have been defusers. Guardian will get KNG over at long. So now, again, NaVi with the opening frag. You think this is it. Now they've got a real chance of doing it. Henny with the refrag, though, taking down Simple.
And look at that. They just halt.
Yeah,
it
slowing it down.
Grinds everything to a halt here for NaVi. All of a sudden, like, wait, there was a man in mid, too? Okay. How do we approach this now? And it looks like the solution is to get a smoke down deep on long. 2 smokes, in fact. Well, all 4 members are here gathered up for NaVi. The shot through leg on the Guardian. Okay, then.
Who does that? Like, who bunny jumps through the smoke to leg? I mean, to just take that battle. That's madness.
Bolts. So sick. Bolts. He's going to get the total flank. Now they're sandwiched in. Seas realizes, though, he goes to the one spot on the map where he can maybe get out, and Flamey's there to help him out as well. Right into Connector. But Steel and Lucas are both down on the B site. They can be ready for this.
Got a really good setup for it. Steel going to hear seized and will take him down. The bomb is committed on the site. There's only 11 seconds left, and Edward, yeah, you can't fight it. I mean, all they have to do is hide. If they don't show themselves, you'll never find them with 10 seconds. So time is going to run out. It will be 15 rounds for Immortals here. Great effort, and just, I mean, they're looking so confident on the Brazilian side. This is the kind of Counter-Strike you just love to watch. Like that jump for the smoke up on long, even if it's not a kill. So ridiculous.
It's just a wall of blue now. It started off with NaVi looking fairly good, like we were going to have a scrappy second half here. It just feels like now, as soon as they got broken on the economy side, just this has been Immortals' game. I mean, it also helps that KNG gets 4 kills and a double off retake. That's pretty solid too. Can't count on that happening every time, but still, Immortals right now, they have everything going their way. It is going to be NaVi with a fairly reasonable buy, actually, all things considered. 4 rifles, pretty good nade count. Only Guardian with the Tech 9, and Bolts holding close in Connector's about to get a rude awakening here. Flamey and Simple keep pushing forward.
This is it. Henny opening up, taking down Edward. It all rides on this for NaVi. They need to continue this and fight for overtime, but Bolts is making that very difficult. Taking a kill on Flamey. Simple did go down to 4 health, and he's the top fragger on NaVi. They need him to come alive here. 4 versus 3 right now. Another couple of kills here, and Immortals will be able to steal the map away from NaVi and go 2-1 in the group. Means they're just a win away, soon to be, from making the playoffs.
Yep, in their first major as well.
Yeah.
So imagine that. Royal Road, perhaps? They've got the confidence.
Seized?
Might get slapped there, Seized. You might get slapped.
To be honest, it wouldn't have made a big difference anyway. Guardian and Simple are now trying to fight it 2 versus 4, and Simple is practically not even on the server. He's solo on health. Steel can see the legs of anyone sneaking through. Not able to get the kill. That's a bit sloppy, perhaps. But how did they get the bomb down? It's on Simple. Surely he's going to have to give it up. If any grenades land or anything else, that would be pretty risky. Yeah, we'll swap it over to Guardian for good reason. Flashbangs are out, but this is 1 in 1,000 if they can win this round. Simple picking up the AK as well. Trying for a bit of a spray. He goes down, and Guardian a fall next. And it will be 16-10 in favor of Immortals here. Remarkable game from them. Absolutely amazing, especially after that shaky beginning in the first half. They bring it right back, and they just look like a very professional team at this point in time. What, Henny at 21, 22 kills towards the end of it. KNG over 20 as well. Quite impressive.
Yeah, they came here to make a statement, Immortals, and that was that they are a contender and that they are looking to catch up with SK, who are just leading the way in South America right now, but on the world stage as well. I mean, SK, they are just looking like world eaters. Like, yes. They have got nothing in their way to stop them from taking this major. It's going to take a huge play from one of the teams here attempting to stop SK, but Immortals, they are definitely a threat.
Yeah, I mean, this is remarkable, and like we talked about, they should have probably qualified for the last major. They finally did it this time, and even that was obviously a huge release of energy for them. Now, yeah, they're 1 single map away from making all the way to the playoffs. That would be a story all on its own, sort of a miracle story. You listen to them. I hope we're going to get an interview with one of them. They're so much fun in interviews as well.
Yeah.
I especially love Steel as the interview subject. I think he's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, he's very verbose. He speaks excellent English, and so you do really get to have that window in to what happens with Immortals. He's no longer calling the shots either, right? And so that's an interesting thing to see the shift over from him to Bolts and the leadership. Yeah. And so perhaps that is what is going to happen. Guess what, Anders? We get to find out. Over to the panel.
Yes, you do indeed. Thank you very much, Anders and Simler there with the commentary. They will be back for the next game as well. G2 Cloud9 coming up, of course, as our next match in the 1-1 part of the mid-bracket. But let's break it down. Fantastic victory for Immortals, and NaVi now in trouble, it seems, in this particular group stage. Who'd have thought we would have been at this point, Nazi, where we're discussing the possibility of not having either NaVi or FaZe in the quarterfinals here?
Yeah, that's true. But then, when it comes to NaVi, a team that has a lot of question marks floating around it. The first half of the game, we saw, just the fact that we discussed before that, Simple, Guardian, the kind of two big factors on that A bomb side and how they can be aggressive and take a big portion of the map to themselves, make it harder for the T's to execute. And yeah, you saw that Immortals never even got close to the bomb side early on. But then they shifted their focus, started taking over sewers, connector, and hit that B bomb site. And once they established the fact that they would like to go to that B bomb site, a weekend kind of compensated from NaVi's side towards the B bomb site from the A defenders, and that leaves another gap on the A side for Immortals to be able to hit that bomb side. Thanks to Lucas, for example, getting 2 big entries. They didn't even have to really use the grenades going in there. So yeah, just. Great turnaround from Immortals in the first half, you have to say.
Really good from them in the turnaround. And Robin also just employing a few little tweaks to things, such as, let's just do double AWP retakes.
No, indeed, definitely. I mean, that I saw that and I was like, that should have never happened. I mean, for NaVi's sake, it's just overpeaking after overpeaking in situations you don't really have to. That, as Natu said in the green room, it's like that one flash for Henny, right? Just getting that guy by Monster, it's just that wins you the round essentially. Then you fake the fuse, you end up going down a one-on-one situation, and Henny ends up winning that clutch situation. But you can definitely see that Immortals definitely did their homework coming into this series. I'm fairly certain that they knew they were going to be playing Overpass the way that Astralis was playing, and that's actually completely unrelated to this game. But it makes me worry about Astralis a little bit, because they weren't playing great yesterday versus SK. They completely stomped, and then versus the NaVi game, their T-Sal was not looking great. And this is a team that passed on ESL 1 Cologne. This is a team that took 3 weeks to prepare for this major, and I don't know, I'm getting a little bit worried.
Yeah, getting ahead of yourself as well. Astralis Fnatic a little bit later on, but
no, that's what I'm saying. Just completely unrelated, because I was gonna. My comparison for NaVi, especially on their CT side, right, is because when you look at this and you're like, Astralis is one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah. This is the round, by the way.
And then 12 rounds, and then you look at Immortals, and yeah, the first 6 rounds, Henny and KNG, they had 14 or 11 ADR on Henny, and then KNG had 7. Right, and I was like, this is not looking great.
Even I could get more than 7 ADR.
Exactly. I mean, if you look over 6 rounds, that's 42 damage,
it's ridiculous,
right?
Isn't it?
But at the end of the series, both of these 2 players are on top, right? 2 offers. That's what we were discussing coming into this series of like, how are we going to make use of these 2 offers? What is the mentality coming into it?
They really love it, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, you should. Henny, especially when he's having a game like that, hitting that many flick shots, in awkward positioning sometimes too. It makes life a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's the sheer power of having an AWP, right? It's the same with SK, with Fallen when he's on point. Just makes so much space for your riflers in that team, and you saw that for the Immortals, hitting that B bomb side every single time. You get the initial entry, and then you pass on the strong players from NaVi that's playing the A bomb side. When you then get the B bomb side, that retake is super difficult to manage, right? Because you have all the positioning, you even go aggressive. Guardian most likely has an op, probably even Simple, and that retake, it should be near impossible.
Yeah. And I'm happy to see Immortals really being aware of the situation. A lot of the times you saw NaVi go for a B execute with Tech 9s, full on Molotov smokes, flashes coming in, and Immortals really playing passively, understanding that there's a 45-second bomb timer nowadays, so you can really leave it to the retake and do it gradually. You spend your time and make sure you're kind of taking every single angle, and they even actually happened to get 2 kills through the smokes before they even had to think about retaking. So really cool stuff to see them actually thinking things through, because that was one of the pet peeves I found in the way they play sometimes.
Yeah, you were upset about that,
weren't you? They were a little, reckless, you could say.
Well, I like that about them. That's the good side about that.
It's character.
We've got Steele waiting to speak to us. I'm sure he will disagree with us saying they're reckless, but it's fun. It's exciting to watch. We love watching you play, Lucas, and again, thanks for joining us, and congrats on another big win. Is this better than yesterday?
Yeah, it was, man. I mean, so win against NaVi on a major tournament, it feels so good. We are so happy.
Yeah, I bet you guys are. And, obviously pumped up throughout that. We saw Henny just going absolutely crazy sometimes. You double AWP retakes everywhere. And as Natu said, though, this time, rather than just being all the gung-ho stuff we're used to from you, it was more... You were more careful. You were more thoughtful about how you were doing that.
Yeah, I mean, when Henny is playing like good, we can be super deadly because he's an AWPer, and AWP can be so impactful, especially him because he's so aggressive. He can like give us so many first kills, and that's make us the round so easy because we have KNG on the other part of the map, so it's not that easy to play against double ops.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do you have to calm Henny down sometimes? Because to me, he seems like he's about to explode at some point. You know, he hits a couple of great shots and he's just shouting and screaming.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, we do not say anything for him because when he's on fire, let him be on fire, man. Let's not stop that guy. Do whatever you want, Henny.
All right, okay, that sounds good. Natty's alongside.
Yeah, no, I was wondering, what was the kind of the thought process, or what you guys were talking about early parts of the first half when you were, having a bit of trouble trying to go through Simple and Guardian towards the A bomb site, then you shifted your focus towards the B bomb site. What was talked amongst the team in that part?
Yeah, I mean, the first 5 rounds, I mean, it was only 2-gun rounds, so it wasn't that hard. But we knew that Guardian and Simple was 2 great players on bathroom, so we decided to start going B. But suddenly going B, which was a little bit hard to because we are trading kills. But this is good for the T side. But yeah, our game wasn't on B side for sure.
Were you expecting to play Overpass versus NaVi coming into this?
Actually, to be honest, I had no idea because, man, every time me and Bolts discuss about this, but now we are on separate rooms and he is with his girlfriend, so I have no idea what map is gonna be, man. This is so wrong.
You just need to check in with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Just ask his girlfriend. She'll probably know.
Yeah, next time I'm gonna talk to her.
I just felt like you have a really good idea on how NaVi likes to play their C-to-sides overall, like you were saying as well with Guardian Simple playing really aggressive in the bathroom area. I just felt like overall throughout the course of the game, yeah, sure, the initial 5 rounds didn't really look that great, but after that, it just seemed like you had full control of what NaVi like to do.
Yeah, of course, because we were watching the game against G2, and we knew that they would try to play aggressive too. It's so good to watch the games that your opponent is playing at the same tournament because it's so fresh, and we know that they are gonna do this exactly the same. Especially NaVi. I don't know, I can be wrong, but I don't think that NaVi is the type of team that do anti-strat or care about the opponents, what they're gonna do. But we care.
Yeah, I think that showed, and you've had another successful day today. That's 2 wins now. You're just 1 away from the quarterfinals. I hope I get the chance to speak to you tomorrow.
I hope so, man. I hope to be here tomorrow too.
Well done today, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 4.
See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Lucas. Brilliant. Still,
he has
always a great interview as well, isn't he?
He does have a point, doesn't he? NaVi doesn't like to answer that. Of course not. They don't have any game leader.
Listen,
well, they do, but they don't.
They don't have a pure in-game leader.
Correct, yes.
I don't think.
Well,
I think
saved.
they just exactly. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard and show you the final results of this particular game. It's an all-round performance, I guess you could say, for Immortals.
That's I think exactly what they need to do. You can't rely on just pure individuals, 1 or 2 guys going ham. You want to have the whole team contributing. Obviously, there will always be moments in the game where one individual is going to have a higher impact than the others. That being Henny and KNG, obviously had the biggest ones. But overall, that's a rounded, very very rounded game for the Immortals guys.
I would even go as far as it's a very well-rounded series for NaVi as well, just in terms of if you look at who played well and who didn't. We were expecting Simple and Guardian to play well, and which they did, so it just comes to show us NaVi actually did not play that poorly to begin with. So for Immortals to come out with a win here with 16-10, it just shows how well they read that game throughout the series, start hitting that B bombs, and you're just getting those round wins. Yeah, making sure that NaVi's economy is super low as well. It's just overall, I think so far I'm very impressed by Immortals.
From a NaVi perspective, you got it in the sense for example, you have 5-on-3 advantages on the T side. Guardian gets a pick first on A, then they go back towards B bomb side, and then in that specific rounds that the double op retake happens. The kind of rounds they lose are really really tilting, and it's really tough to come back from that kind of situation.
MVP on screen right now is of course Henny. Had a fantastic game with that, all very impactful as well throughout the entire game. Just
look how many skulls
I was going to say,
yeah,
it's lots of AWP kills, but also 9 retake post-plant kills with the AWP.
Yeah. No, I mean,
And
he
that
had
one flash,
so
that
many.
was MVP. Yeah, crucial point.
The Flash was the MVP
No,
of that
seriously,
round. Yeah.
sometimes they are.
It was,
They
it
definitely
is.
are. It's a 2-1-3 situation. There's one in Monster, there's two in short, there's a smoke in front and short. The Navi guys have boosted up a guy on the sandbags over there. You know, in theory, with two offs, what are you going to do in that situation? Unless you have that one flash, you blind simple. KNG goes in, he uses the AWP as a shotgun, gets a kill, then gets another one, a guy that comes.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
mean,
like,
who needs scopes anyway, right?
I know, just screw him off. Why not?
Unscrew them, throw them away.
Yeah.
Don't need them. Have we got two confirmed Immortals fans now? Are we on the
I mean,
Immortals train?
I'm always been a fan of watching the way they play,
Yeah.
just because the
But in
things I
terms of reaching the
described-
quarterfinals?
No, they definitely have the possibility. I mean,
Okay.
they have the tools for sure.
All right, Robin?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it definitely for tomorrow depends on the draw that they get. I mean, we're looking into they could possibly get Australis.
Maybe.
Maybe, but then they're 2-2, right? So I definitely
Yeah.
see them actually heading into the playoffs here.
Okay. All right, good stuff from both of our men on the panel. We'll be taking a break right now, but we are headed towards another one of those 1-1 games. It's a big game for G2 and for Cloud9. It's coming up next.